Welcome to your Tuesday, December 16th morning update. And it's a problem that people in New England are familiar with. We are part of ISO New England. We share a grid with every other state in New England, and they are all crabby, left-wing, renewable-loving, tree-hugging losers. So our electric rates suffer as a consequence. The legislature last year in New Hampshire created a study committee of some sort to look at the possibility of leaving ISO New England and being self-supportive. We do have the biggest and I think maybe one of the last nuclear power plants in the region, so that would be useful. And of course, we've also talked about small-scale nuclear and a bunch of other solutions. But while we wait for that, what about this? One state's green mandates can become another state's nightmare. States that have adopted clean energy mandates are accustomed to having ratepayers in other states help them pick up the tab for their headlong march to a green utopia. This is especially true when this involves stringing high-voltage transmission lines across vast expanses to conduct intermittent wind and solar power generated from remote locations. But no longer willing to serve as innocent bystanders in the scheme of others, a growing number of voices are calling for a halt to the practice. Rep. Julie Fedorchak, I think I screwed that up, Republican from North Dakota, said families and businesses in states like North Dakota shouldn't be paying higher electricity bills because other states choose unrealistic, expensive mandates. Fedorchak has recently introduced a bill, the Fair Allocation of Interstate Rates Act, FAIR, that targets the current practice of having regional authorities spread the cost of long interstate transmission lines and all of the other costs associated with all of that on states that don't have these policies. Her bill would put an end to the socialization of the costs of transmitting green energy, prohibit cost allocation of policy-driven transmission to consumers in states that did not approve or benefit from the underlying policy, restore state authority to protect ratepayers and landowners from subsidizing projects they do not need, require FERC to issue implementing regulations within 6 months. Quote, our legislation protects the principle of user pay by ensuring that if activists in Los Angeles, Chicago, or Minneapolis mandate expensive, unreliable energy, they foot the bill for their decisions. So it doesn't sound exactly like something that would help us. We don't have tons of massive renewable transmission lines running across the state of New Hampshire. It's not a very big state. We have a hard enough time getting any kinds of transmission lines and getting anything energy related done. It's improved a great deal over the years as we've had more and more Republican majorities in the legislature and a Republican governor, but they're still a little squishy. Chris Sununu was a big fan of offshore wind. We're still trying to get rid of that disaster, and with some luck we will. But this is a kind of pointing us in the right direction. I think what we need, and we don't have any legislators in New England who will propose it because they're all Democrats. We don't have any Republicans in New England at all in Congress. But what we would like them to do is come up with a variation or to extend Fedorchak's bill to include not forcing us to pay prices that are higher because Massachusetts wants green energy and Vermont wants green energy and Maine and Rhode Island and Connecticut and New York. They all want green energy. We do not. So Fedorchak's bill is a leap in the right direction. With any luck, maybe they'll expand it to protect us in other ways from the incredibly high cost of green, not so green, renewable, not so renewable, unreliable energy. Here's to hoping. Fingers crossed. We'll talk to you tomorrow.